What is up, my friend? Welcome to Grow Your Video Business. This is the show for videographers and studio owners who want to learn how to get paid what they're worth, run a smarter business, and live a better life. I'm Ryan Coral from Studio Sherpas, and I am your host. On today's episode, my guest, Jacob. This dude leads a huge video team for one of the fastest growing companies in America. He talks about how $150 videos are not just profitable for these guys, but have also led to huge contracts. And we also talk about one thing that you can offer your clients to make them come back for more. What you're going to walk away from this episode, hearing Jacob's story and his journey, his marketing prowess left me super encouraged. I was ready to try all sorts of new things for my own video business. I also say that his audio is a bit buggy from his Bluetooth, so please bear with us. The content is so good. I seriously was like, should we not do it? But we just kept it as is, and I'm sure you'll have some great takeaways. If you're looking to avoid one of the biggest mistakes that we make in the sales process when talking with new clients, you need to check out our free workshop that is going to help you stop leaving money on the table and give you more confidence during your sales call, which should lead to more bookings and ideally at the kind of budgets that you're looking for. You can get access to this workshop below, or you can just go to studiosherpas.com/budget. With that, let's jump into the episode. If there was one thing that could have ended my business 17 years ago, it would be because of the numbers. I hate accounting, taxes, W-9s, W-2s, W-40s, spreadsheets, all of that stuff. And I hate it mostly because I'm afraid of it. I'm just not great with numbers. If this sounds familiar, or if you're so new in your business that it's not even on your radar yet, you need Core Group. Core Group can help you create financial systems and tax strategies that you need so you can grow profitably, and they've been doing this for over 20 years. They become an extension of your team so that you can stay in your lane of expertise and then lean on them to help guide you along the way. For me, having a team of experts in my corner to help keep track of our books and just to make sure that we're budgeting for taxes appropriately, to have an actual strategy for our taxes and our accounting is priceless. And it allows me to sleep easier at night, knowing that I don't have to be an expert in that arena. If you want to avoid surprises in your video business, and you want experienced help building a plan for the future that you want, both professionally and personally, head over to studiosherpas.com/core for more information. And when you're ready to set up a free consult with them, make sure to mention Studio Sherpas for a special discount too. Got your back. Get more out of your accountant. Go to studiosherpas.com/core. What's up, friends? Hey, welcome to this episode of the podcast. My guest today is Jacob Snowden, who has worked in video and marketing for the past 8 years. He started with Kickstarter videos and music videos, and now he leads a team of 9 video creators for one of America's fastest growing companies, Marketing 360. Jacob, thank you for blessing us with your presence today.
Thank you, Ryan, for having me. It's great to talk to you again. It was a pleasure last time as well.
So currently, do you have 9? Did your team grow since the last time we talked? Which wasn't that long ago, but I said 9, and I was like, oh man, maybe they're growing.
I actually have 8 right now, no. So I'm looking for a 9th. No, actually, I'm looking for a 9th, and I'm hoping for a 10th very soon.
I love it. So what are you looking for? Like, what's the position? Because we might have somebody listening to the show that's like, hey, that's me.
Yeah, no, most of the projects that we do are probably going to be very much what we talk about today. I'd say the bulk of what we do are more templated projects, so mostly video editing projects. Mm-hmm. We also do some live shoots in our studio, which we call brand representatives, where essentially we have in-house actors that will read a client script that is supplied to us, to the camera, on behalf of a brand, because no businesses have time to record those on their own. So they're about a minute long, so we shoot those, edit them, send them back to the client. So that's the bulk of what I need, but we do everything from one stock clip with some text overlays to full-blown custom productions. but I'm looking for someone to help out with the bulk of what we do. So we need some editing and someone that wants to grow into the other stuff.
So does this person need to be local? And if so, where are you located, Jacob?
Well, we're located in Fort Collins, Colorado, which is a lovely place to be and live. But no, they don't necessarily have to be local. We're actually open up for remote positions in quite a few different states. I think we have them listed online. I can't remember all of them, but I know that Texas, Hawaii, Florida, Colorado, and a few other states are all on that list too. So
that's awesome.
Pretty open.
Well, this was not the direction I intended to go, but you never know. I talked to so many, especially editors that would love more work, and some people, the focus of this show is for people to help them, grow their video business. But I think there are some people that are like, you know what, I've had enough of this business. Where can I find consistent work? And that's fine. That's not, that's neither here nor there. I love that we're even chatting about this because it might be a great fit for somebody. So if you're listening, I'm getting a 20. What's my cut, Jacob? If you find somebody, I'm just kidding. Moving on. What is the biggest thing that you've learned? I mean, you've been doing this for almost a decade, going from Kickstarter / music videos for your cousin, or were these like paid? When I say paid, I mean more than like $200.
Oh, it was all over the map. Yeah. I went to film school in Atlanta, so
okay.
There was no shortage of music videos to be shot. Short films, Kickstarter videos, just all of that good stuff. So some were paid, some were not. Some were just for fun.
So doing that work compared to what you're doing today, I would imagine is quite different. And out of curiosity, what would you say, like, what's the biggest difference, and what have you learned going from, where you started to where you're at today?
I mean, the biggest things that I've learned are just more how to help the small businesses with the videos that they're looking for, and how to uncover what the video should actually be about, and more than just what the video should be about, but how it's actually going to be implemented. Because what I've learned most is that you could talk to a client about video till you're blue in the face, but if they don't understand how it's going to benefit their business and how it's going to be used, you already lost them. And if you sell them on here's how it's going to be used, here's how it's going to be benefit your business, then that's what's truly going to sell a client on video. That the rest of it's icing on the cake. Okay, what are the details of it? What's our budget? Things like that will actually help us nail down an actual project.
I think that's a huge point that a lot of us, we'll get excited about, somebody that's inquiring, oh, you're a video company? Yeah, tell me, we need to do a video. But when you can change the conversation. And I didn't change the conversation for, I don't even know how long. It was years before. And my problem was because we started in wedding films. So the end product was like, well, we're going to give you your video and it's going to go online. So there was no need to really explain it. Well, and it's going to go on DVDs and then eventually Blu-rays. I'm dating myself here. But then when we started working with businesses, that just kind of, I don't know, like obviously it's going to get put online. You guys can share it however you want. But then to go a step further and to really, think through strategy and be able to help them and tell them this is what's in it for you, right? This is why this is a good idea. Not just because your competition has a video and you need to look as good as or better than them, but there are certain things that we can do with your video, places that it can go, and strategy that can kind of be included in all of this that's going to actually make it very successful for what you guys are trying to do.
Well, I think that uncovering those things for a client helps them realize that you are a professional, that you do know what you're talking about, and that you should be trusted. A lot of the ways I sell video is telling them, there's a lot of production companies that'll go out there and they will make you a very pretty video, but you don't need a pretty video. You need a video that's actually going to sell you, sell your product, sell your service, and that's where a marketing company is truly going to benefit you the most. And then from there, we can start talking about, okay, well, how do you envision this video even being used? Where in the funnel is the client going to see this video? Are you trying to convert people on your website from people that you're already bringing in? Or are you having trouble even getting people to your website in the first place? Because if it's having trouble even getting people to your website, hey, short 15-second videos on Facebook, that's what Facebook prefers. They want it in a vertical format. That's a completely different video than, 4K horizontally shot video that's going to live on your homepage and truly go with like 2 minutes of selling somebody on it. Nobody's going to watch a 2-minute video on Facebook when they're scrolling through their feed, especially if it doesn't grab their attention right away. You want short, snappy stuff there, bring them in and educate them.
Yeah. That's brilliant, dude. And that's one of the challenges as a creative. When I got into this business, I wanted to make stuff that looked really, really good. And then I wanted to make stuff that sounded good, right? So it was first about getting a camera and upgrading the camera and getting some lights and like, wow, this stuff looks really good. And then I'm like, oh, and it actually doesn't sound that good. So then, upgrading our mics and, sorry, my wife is... My wife is texting me. I hit do not disturb. Why is this happening right now? What the heck are we talking about? Gear. Oh, focusing.
You're talking about making your videos look good and then sound good.
Yes.
That's part of the puzzle. But the other part is actually making it so that it actually is well received and is useful to a client. Because good-looking video and good-looking sound is great, but if a client never sees it, if it's in the wrong place, if you're talking about hitting that subscribe button and they're on Facebook, it's going to make absolutely no sense to anybody. So you need to be producing for the platforms that a client's actually going to see this video on. And I think that's a real big piece there.
So, but as a creative, when I got into this, it was all about how it looked, sound, even felt, right? So it's hard. It was a journey for me to say, like, you know what, like this piece is actually good enough. We don't need to keep editing it. Like where it's at right now, it serves the purpose for what it's for. It might not be a piece that's going to become a Vimeo staff pick, which that's, that would be so cool to have something like that. But if your client, if they just need more clients, if they need more clients, you don't need to do something that's not going to, you shouldn't do something that's not going to serve that purpose. So you shouldn't have a hidden agenda of like, oh, well, I'm going to really just take this thing to the next level cinematically. You can, if you're doing that to help them with their ultimate purpose. But I know so many creators that get frustrated in the process where they say, oh, our client doesn't, they don't understand like what true cinema is, or, we're trying to bring in these lights. And at the end of the day, like if that's not what your client is asking for, and there's a part of like educating your client and, taking them through understanding how your approach and all of that stuff. But at the end of the day, if you're working with businesses, you're trying to make them more money, or you're trying to help them hire better employees or employee retention, or whatever the purposes of that video, you sometimes have to get out of the way, and it's not gonna be the best looking piece that you've ever done. But like your client, most of the time, unless you're working with like an ad agency or something like that, most of the time they don't need something that looks amazing. Always strive for excellence. Always try to make the stuff look as best you can, but don't spend too much time in too much of your own money doing that at the expense of this isn't actually serving your client.
Well, I think that it's a road base that you have to figure out. You're going to save yourself a lot of heartache and headache in the future if you determine what are the actual goals of this project and how is it going to be used. So then when there is that creative difference, it's like, well, this creativity is helping achieve that goal.
Right.
What you're asking for is going to fight against the goal that you told me you wanted in the beginning. So it kind of gives you that baseline of like, here's true north and where we're headed. And it'll help solve a lot of those creative differences between you and your client if you establish that up front.
I think that there's a decent portion of the audience that wants to do more work with agencies, and maybe that's ad agencies, or maybe that's marketing agencies. One of the things that I've said from the very first time that we worked with what I call now a channel partner, and a channel partner is somebody who you build a relationship with this channel partner, and the channel partner has multiple clients. So, it could be, let's just say it's an ad agency. They've got Nike, they've got, I don't know. I'm trying to think of some brands here. Sears, they've got Target, whatever. They've got AMC, they've got GameStop, and so they've got all these clients. Well, if they feel like you're the go-to video company, they're going to pitch you to, all of their clients. They're going to say like, hey, these guys are the best. Like you need to, you can go with whoever you want, or we only work with our preferred vendors, and these guys are one of our preferred vendors. So having a channel partner, you're only having to win over one company, and you get multiple opportunities to win business. So that is like, if you can get a couple of different channel partners, we've found so much success. We've made so much money working with channel partners, and it's awesome because we build a great relationship with them and we have fun with them. And so they trust us, and then their clients trust them. So typically it just works out. Everybody likes each other. So for people that are interested in saying like, man, I would love to have a channel partner, like some kind of an agency, what is your recommendation based on, people that you've worked with or just in your own experience? How should somebody introduce themselves to an agency that they want to work with? For a solopreneur or a really small video company, but you really love this agency, what would be your piece of advice to try to get them in the room, or, starting some kind of a discussion to say like, hey, would you ever consider hiring us to do your projects?
Yeah. I mean, I would probably approach it the way that I approach most things. And as much as everyone will probably hate on me for saying it in this sphere, because everyone says, well, I'm not going to pay my bills with experience. Sometimes the best thing to do is just to put your best foot forward, to do something, right? So, when I've tried to convince people of doing a project or working with me or something like that, even like, especially like when I first graduated college and I had no resume, I had no nothing. Yep. It was just like, hey, I'm just going to go help people and do things. So, if someone came to me and said, hey, I saw that you work with this small business. I made this video, like, check it out. And if you'd like more videos like this, hit me up. It's like, hey, here's the freebie. Now, if you want more of this, hit me up and I'm going to charge you for it. And like, this is what I charge ongoing. And even outlining that from the beginning, hey, I did this one for free, but this is what I would charge a client for that. Mm-hmm. Are you interested in doing it? And I even do that nowadays. I'll have a client come in and say, hey, I want 500 photos of these watches. Quote me on it. And like, to be honest, I'm like, I've never shot 500 watches.
Right.
Like, I have no idea how much time this is going to take. In fact, like, our experience with watches specifically, we don't have. Send me a couple watches and we'll shoot them and we'll see how much time it takes. You'll get a couple photos out of it, and then I'll give you our price for it. And you could tell me, like, do you even like the work that we did, right? Because I don't want to get 500 watches and a massive budget hanging over my head just to find out that, like, they don't like our style of shooting watches. And now we're looking at like refunding this client or trying to go above and beyond and losing out money on it. I'd rather just do, hey, here's a couple for free. Let's see how it goes and see where you want to go from here. And I've tried to do that, and I've given that advice, not just in video, but in marketing in general too, is just, hey, go find local businesses that you can help, because they're the ones that need the most help. And that'll at least like help you with stepping stones. It'll give you samples. And if nothing else, you just say, hey, I did this one for free. This is what I would charge for this in the future. Like, let's keep doing them. And if they see the actual value in it, they will.
Mm-hmm. I love that.
Hopefully that kind of answers the question.
No, that's good. The one piece of, and it's really born out of experience, when you do free work for somebody, make sure that you create very clear expectations on what you're doing for them, what they should expect to get, and create as many outs as possible. So if you say, hey, I'm attempting to do this, but might get to a point in the project where it's just not, I just can't do it, I can't finish it or whatever. Also, tell them, hey, I'm going to give you 2 rounds of revisions or something like that. If you want anything else, or I'm going to give you no rounds, I'm just going to create the video that I want to create, and you guys don't have to use it. That's totally fine. But if you want revision rounds, I'll totally do that. This is not like some shady way to get me to get money from you, but because I'm going to be creating something that you want versus something that we kind of both can use, I'll charge you, $150, $250 an hour for editing or something. Be very clear in that, because for friends, for family, for other people that we've done free or really inexpensive jobs. Those ones have come back to bite us, where the people become really upset. And you're like, why are you upset? I just gave you a free video. I put all this time. But from their perspective, they've got some energy and time invested into this thing too, and they've got an expectation. So if you don't set those expectations up before you start doing any shooting or planning or editing or anything like that, you're really setting yourself up to potentially have an unhappy free client, which that's the worst, especially if you're not getting out of it what you want. Nobody wins.
No, nobody wins on that one. No, and with that's a very good point. Even in the work that we do now, I don't include rounds of revisions in anything that I quote out. And I set that expectation up front that there are no revisions included. The reason is because I have no idea what those revisions are going to be. If you ask me for a full 1-day reshoot because you didn't like what the person was wearing, but you had no input on that before, I can't predict that.
Right.
So I just don't include it. And if people want me to include revisions in it, I say, okay, well, you're looking at 2 to 4 times as much for something you may or may not use. Are you sure that's what you want?
Yeah.
Because that's the only way that I can just say for sure I will include all the revisions you want in it. And I've done the whole free work. I still do it. I'm a fan of music. I play banjo and stuff like that. And I found this shop locally that I thought was just really cool. So I went down, I just told him, I was like, hey, I just want to have some passion project stuff. I'm going to create what I want. And if y'all want to use it, that's great. So I just go down there every once in a while, or at least pre-COVID, I went down there every once in a while and I'd, get some shots of their new banjos that they were doing, play on them for a little bit, and then create a little cut for them. And the idea isn't really to get anything out of it. It's just to do something that is more passion project for me. Whereas most of the work projects I do, some of them are passion filled, but a lot of them are promoting soap or a plumber or something like that. There's only so much I can really get into it. Whereas music I love. So I'll just do that project because I enjoy doing it.
Yeah.
And, references and stuff like that have come from it, but I try not to mix them too much. Plus, I don't want to, compete with the work that I already do.
Right. Yeah. Yeah. There is that too. Yeah. I think it reminds me of, let's see, this is 9 years ago. We landed a huge channel partner. It was the university. It was the School of Business at a university. And I didn't realize it was a channel partner, but now realizing, wow, that university has 27 different colleges within it. So if we do really well with this one college, they might know some other people at their college. And lo and behold, that's what happened. We got referred around to the university, which was amazing. But what we did, we went to the university beforehand. They wanted us to come in and pitch ourselves. That there was a certain RFP that we had applied to try to win this job. And so we said, hey, you know what, let's make a video specific to them. So we went on campus, we got these cool slider shots back when sliders weren't even really a thing. So we got these cool slider shots of their campus and just shot some B-roll around their campus. And then we did quick little interviews with our team talking about why we wanted to partner with them. So that wasn't necessarily free work. We were trying to win the business. But to your point, if you're wanting to work with an agency, what is there? How can you serve them in a way to get their attention, right? Is there something unique you can do? But also, in the same vein, for us, we came away with some B-roll clips of that university that we used in multiple pieces for the different schools at the university. So we were like, holy cow, this we went out one afternoon and the university is about an hour away. So it was kind of a hike and we had to pay, a couple dollars for parking. And, so we had some, the parking is even a big deal, but we had some time invested in this thing, and it ended up paying off for us. If it didn't, if we didn't get hired, still, we were getting the kinds of shots. We said, oh man, let's get some cool slider shots, and we got some cool shots. We were like, this is good B-roll. So it wasn't even oh, this is garbage. If they never would have hired us, we could have used that in our reel or elsewhere.
Yeah. Well, as you were saying that, I started thinking back to when we started our partnership with the Denver Broncos. I think it was the full first year we did all of the projects that we did for them. I don't think we charged for any of it.
Yeah.
It was because they're huge around here. It's a great marketing partner for us
super
too.
fun.
And now our name shows up in the stadiums, right?
No big deal.
And we use their athletes in videos, and we've done all kinds of stuff with them.
Yeah.
But doing that for a year, maybe more, it might even be a year and a half, 2 years that we were just doing free work, but it was mostly for their partners. So like they would sell, hey, Tabasco's going to partner with or be a sponsor of the Broncos for this next year. We did short Tabasco videos, and it was 3D videos of like the bottle spinning with their new branded partnership of the Broncos and Tabasco. But that led us into working with all kinds of different businesses, from Ford to Tabasco, obviously the Broncos, and start even leading into us working with other like the Nebraska Huskers and stuff like that. It just it expands. But even in something as big as that, it was just free work that we're doing to more prove ourselves, show the worth, show the value. And even if it's as basic as giving away a free market, like video marketing assessment or something like that. Hey, this is what we're seeing from you now. Here's just a plan, right? Like a video plan it's worth its weight in gold. Like I was saying earlier, no one's going to buy a video if they don't have a plan for it or don't know how it's going to be used. So even if that's the only piece you give for free, giving something away is always good. And I'm sure it's probably very similar with you in the podcast, right? You're giving away free information in hopes that people sign up for things where it's paid information.
That's right. Yeah,
that's how most of YouTube works nowadays.
Yeah, right. Yeah, it's like if I'm providing value, then at some point somebody might say, "Man, I love the podcast. Ryan sounds like he does have experience in the video world. He sounds like he's learned a thing or two. He's selling a new course, or he's offering coaching, or whatever the thing is." Like for me, I'm trying to build trust with my target client, but I'm also trying to repel the people that are like, Ryan is annoying. I can't believe he starts every podcast the same. His energy level's like way up here. He's just obnoxious. Like I would never want him to coach me in my video business, or his business. He's only got 4.5 employees. I want like 10 employees. So I want to learn from somebody, and that's fine. Like there is somebody out there that can probably help that person. So yes, for all of us listening, if you don't have some kind of lower barrier, lower price, free thing, something that can engage your right fit client, it's time to start thinking about what could that look like. If you're trying to get somebody to out of the gate when they first meet you, if the next right step for you is for them to hire you to do a $5,000, $10,000, $20,000 video, you're probably going to be disappointed more times than not.
No, absolutely. That's really what it comes down to. Just setting that lower barrier to entry. What I've learned from marketing overall is that if you can get somebody to say yes once, you're more likely to get them to say yes again. Yeah. And that's why even if you get them to say yes to, I will accept free information from you, it's a step in the right direction, because I get plenty of emails with free stuff and I don't want it.
I don't care about it.
How many times have you heard you want a car? I don't want to touch that thing because it sounds terrifying.
Yep.
Yeah, my computer's going to implode as soon as I touch it. So, and I've run into that issue even with clients that are legitimate trying to give away free products. People can be skeptical of that too. Yep. So there is sometimes a balance of finding, hey, what's free, what's paid, but also showing people the roadmap that, hey, not everything I'm going to do is free. Yeah. Here's what I charge. Here's kind of the tiers to get there, but at a base level, it's free. Yep. And I think to what you said about, people getting to know you through that free stuff, it's a good way to vet out clients too. It's a good way to say, like, do I even want to work with this person? Right. Do they actually want to work with me? Right. They should get to know each other, because otherwise it could just be a complete headache down the road. There are plenty of clients that I would just prefer not to work with, but there are lots of clients that I would love to work with. Yeah.
Yeah, we found a lot of value just in the past, really since COVID happened, and we kind of pivoted and said, hey, we've been wanting to do some webinars and some, hosting a virtual summit. That would be so cool, but we just never had the time. And then all of a sudden we had time. And what we found is in showing up that way, me being on camera, me, hosting these events, bringing John, my creative director, it has given us an opportunity to get a no as soon as possible. It has given us an opportunity for all the people that were on our email list before to really start seeing us, not just our nice emails where we're trying to add value, but they're like, oh, okay, these are real people. And do I like them more or do I like them less? Do I trust them more? Do they seem like they're sleazy or salesy, or do they actually seem like really authentic guys that they want to work with me if we're a good fit client, and they don't want to work with me? They don't just want my money. They want to find the best, video company for that matches their personality or their brand. So that has worked out very well. So showing up in that way has allowed people to see us much more. If you're listening and you don't have, at the very least, a photo of yourself or of like you and your dog or you and your spouse, if it's just like, you're the sole owner and the owner operator or whatever, making it your brand more human, like, again, is going to make people say like, oh, he likes dogs or she likes dogs. Or they're going to say like, oh my gosh, I can't believe they like dogs. If you found out, if you absolutely love dogs and you found out that you're somebody that's inquiring dogs, do you want to work with that client? I mean, chances are you'd be like, well, I guess it depends on how big the project is. But at the end of the day, you're probably going to get frustrated with each other because you're just in the dog thing. That might be a silly example. But if you're just misaligned with what you care about outside of just the project itself, it's probably not going to be a great fit. You're probably not going to get a super strong referral. You're probably not going to want to work with them again in the future. So you can avoid all of that by showing up in different ways. And at the very, very least, if you don't have a photo of yourself on your website, please put one on there. That's my personal opinion.
If you're running video production and you don't have a photo or preferably a video of yourself on your website, you should probably get to that and start doing some media production for yourself. Otherwise, they don't trust themselves to put it up. Right. I wouldn't trust them either.
Yeah, that's good. Well, we're running out of time, but I wanted to talk about templated projects. I know that's something that you have some knowledge on. Can you drop that on us? And if it's really good, then you could drop your mic and then walk away.
Well, I've always looked at it as, for us, we've wanted to take care of people from a DIY standpoint to a do-it-for-me standpoint. And while we don't really have any DIY offerings for video, I mean, I have videos as low as $150, right? Like, so I try and create an offering
I'm gonna hire you to do
low as I can go, right? That low barrier that we were talking about earlier, all the way up to the $20,000, $30,000 productions, and I try and fill in everything in between. Yeah. Because like we were talking about earlier with having an actual strategy, the strategy doesn't always demand high-priced videos.
Exactly.
It may just be, hey, I need a $150 video from it. Cool. If you have that marketing strategy around it, then you can say, cool, we're going to start with this $150 video, and then we're going to do these other ones. Or you put together a full package for them. And the way that I've done that is just through templating out projects. If you have templates for the videos that you're making, it does make it easier to have a lower cost on that project, right? So, for example, our lowest price option is one stock clip with 3 text call outs and an outro. So that's it. Very basic, right? But for a lot of people, if all they're looking for is a video to bring them back to the website once they've been there, they're looking for retargeting. That's really all you need. You just need to keep the name in their brain. And that can be easily done through video. Or if you're even just trying to bring them to your website, a quick, 15-second video with one stock clip will work. I actually had one, it was more of a joke. We had a client that wanted they sold fish. So they were looking for a video that was like, hey, on sale today or something like that. And my guy took the video of the fish, and then it was like this nice kind of like lackadaisical song. And then it hit heavy metal and flames came up, and it had like, it was something like get your fish while they're hot. And then it like dropped down to the, to like the very lackadaisical music again. And that was it. That was the whole promo, but it caught your eye. And I sent that out for our whole company, which is like 600 people, and asked them like, hey, what are your favorite videos from this year? And that was a top video, $150 video that took like a little bit of creativity to it. crushed it.
Yeah.
I don't know if the client ever used it for an ad. I don't even know if we sent it to him, but we made it just internally.
Right.
We thought it was fantastic. And I'm pretty sure I loved it. So I sent it to the account manager and was like, you should run this as an ad. Whether the client did or not, I don't know, but that's us doing it for ourselves. Right. But
Amazing.
I think it would have been great to see that online. They would have had conversions to the roof probably. So templating things out that way. And it doesn't always have to be like, cookie cutter templates.
Right.
Like we have templates where it's someone talking to a camera, but the context of that, what's actually being said, can be completely different between videos. Even if it's like, hey, we do brand videos. They're a one-day shoot. The first half of the day is interviews. The second half of the day is B-roll. Our scripts are typically, hey, I'm so-and-so, we do X, and it's supported by Y and Z, and then we throw B-roll on it. That template gives people a very clear idea of this type of video works well for this type of client, and we produce them in a day, and this is our cost. And it just makes it very easy to know and sell and understand. It gets really complicated pitching custom stuff, and the prices all over the board and things like that. So finding ways to templatize, especially your lower end productions, to get people in the door will help you a lot. And then you can sell it in packages. Hey, you need one brand video, you need two, one clip stock footage pieces for retargeting, and then maybe a couple of videos with someone talking to the camera, just answering questions, like a Q&A or FAQ type stuff. Because if they left, they probably want to know more information about your brand if they considered it ever.
Yeah.
It's just a good way to put together quick packages for people.
That approach, I know there's some people listening that are like, oh, that's like, there's no
cringy, right?
There's no creativity involved in that. And then there's also $150. Tell me just real quick, $150. Have you ever had a $150 project lead to something bigger than that?
Oh, always. I mean, a lot of clients will start with just like the cheapest thing they can do, but if you see results from it, and it fits within the marketing plan that you were talking about. So typically what I'll do is I'll be like, hey, for a marketing plan, you need these short videos to bring people to your website. And then you need a video that actually convinces them to buy on your website. And then if they leave and they haven't purchased, you need to retarget them answering questions that they may have had about, let's say it's a roofer. Do metal roofs make sense? What kind of roofs do you put on in Texas? Different colors roofs, like what's the difference between them? If someone is considering buying something, they probably have tons of questions, and you should answer those to help keep your name in their mind and bring them back. If you're established as a thought leader, they will purchase from you when they're ready to purchase. But with that, if I say, hey, here's all the things that you need, let's start with a $150 video and see if we can bring more traffic to your website. If you have more traffic coming to your website, then you need to convince them and convert them. That requires this video that's $20,000. So you can prove, hey, this worked. Now let's do this.
And for
you, then if that works, then you're doing ongoing.
Like, do you feel like I know these are templatized $150 videos, but do you ever feel like you're like, man, we're kind of losing money on this? Is it a loss leader ever? Or are they so templatized and your team is so good at coming up with just, 3 sentences or whatever that are going to go on that video, that stock clip, and just bam, bam, bam?
I mean, to be honest, it's our most profitable thing that we do.
What?
But it's not our most enjoyable. But it's a bulk thing, right? It's Walmart, right? Versus, something that's a little bit more. It's IKEA furniture versus like custom made, handmade furniture from down the street.
Right.
And I think that you can offer everything in between those. But yeah, I mean, those videos, they don't take us a ton of time to do. We typically have templates. Maybe someone will come back and say that they want something changed, but for the most part, they don't take us a ton of time, and we can get them out again. But that's how we're able to keep the costs low, and we buy our footage in bulk, so we get a better price on it, and we can pass that price on to our clients. When we started doing them, 50% of our margin was just buying the stock clips.
Right.
But now it's not that.
Yeah. That's amazing. I'm afraid to ask who you guys use for stock because one of our big sponsor, one of our sponsors is Storyblocks. So if it's not Storyblocks, I don't want to know about it.
I won't say anything.
It's Storyblocks, you guys. Jacob, I would love to keep talking. We have to wrap up. This is super fun. I love this conversation. we have to do a part 2 or bring you on for a live stream or something like that. But where can people find you online and kind of just, see what you guys are doing?
Yeah, so you can definitely find us at marketing360.com. I mean, that's our overall company site. Most of our videos, we keep off of there for our clients just because, there are clients' projects and things like that. But you can see a ton of the work that we've done for Marketing 360 specifically. Our big strategy was making videos for ourselves, right? We eat our own dog food. The same things we do for our clients, we do for ourselves. Also, if you go there, you can sign up for our Marketing 360 platform. I forget how long it is for free, but you should definitely do that, especially if you're looking at growing your business and marketing for yourself. The big reason is that you can see all the data related to your business. You can see where your ads are going. You can see what your return on your investment is. You can build out your own email campaigns. You can run your own ads. And then if you get tired of doing this stuff or you need help with it, we have full service. We do SEO for you. We can run your ads. We can create your social posts. We can create your email campaigns. We can do your videos if you need help with your videos, pretty much anything you need. Also, we have our own website platform, so you can build your own website there too. And there's a free trial for that also. So
that's amazing.
No shortage if you need marketing help.
Yes. What you guys don't know is years ago, I actually went out. I had these guys do a website for me for a total side project. This was probably a decade ago. I was trying to build a music licensing brand, and that was a couple years in the making, and then realized that was not a smart idea. But I have met these guys and their team, and they've had so much growth and just so many awesome things. So Jacob, super happy to have had you. I'm glad that Samson made the introduction. How do you want to leave us today?
I think overall, just go keep creating videos and just keep learning. That's all you can do, right? So don't stop. As McKinnon says, done is better than perfect. Yeah. So just keep on chopping.
Love that. Awesome, Jacob. Thanks, brother. Appreciate you so much.
Yeah, absolutely. Thanks, Ryan. Have a great day.
You too. Hey, leave a comment below and let me know what is your biggest takeaway from this episode. And if you enjoyed it, I would love if you shared it with somebody else. Thanks so much for watching. Till next time, I'll see you later. Bye-bye. Back when I started my video company, stock footage, it used to be the worst. It was terrible quality, super cheesy shots, and really small selection, and it was really expensive. That is not the case with Storyblocks. They offer affordable subscription plans to their enormous library of stock footage, and with their unlimited access plan, you get access to the whole library, including HD and 4K footage. They've got After Effects and Premiere Pro templates, music, images, sound effects, and more. Seriously, there is tons. There have been so many projects where our team just needed one extra shot. Maybe the day after the shoot, the client was like, hey, this would have been a great thing to get. And we're like, ah. Or in post-production, they're like, hey, it'd be a really cool shot. We've saved our clients and ourselves a ton of money and headaches and heartaches. And we've saved a couple of projects that just needed that one special shot with our Storyblocks subscription. Head over to storyblocks.com/Studio Sherpas to help you create more video with their affordable subscriptions.